What is going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video review. Today we are going to take a look at Doctor Strange from No Way Home, and if you are interested in this figure, head over to bigbadtoystore.com. I'll put the link down below. $4 shipping, and they double box your item. I think this is on sale for like, I don't know, something. But let's talk about this figure. So I wasn't gonna pick this up initially because I do have the Infinity War from Doctor Strange from Infinity War, and they are pretty similar. Only the accessories is the difference. So my mentality going to this was that if I could sell my Infinity War, because now it's No Way Home for me, then I'll go ahead and pick this up because I do need a Doctor Strange, and I know, the Madness one, what do you call that, is out there and arguably a better figure, but that's also more expensive. This is consistently on sale right now, so I was just like, if the price is somewhat close, then I'll go ahead and do it. And I was able to sell my Strange from Infinity War, albeit a little lower than I wanted to, but it was enough, and I only had to add a little bit more to get this. Plus it's No Way Home. Kind of vowed that I want to get pretty much everything from No Way Home. I even got the black and gold suit. So I was just like, you know what? There's accessories in here that it's not on Multiverse of Madness. That'll be essential to my No Way Home display. So why not, right? So this is where I went to, and as you can see here, it's pretty much the same. The hand gestures. There's a few differences here. The spell effects. Obviously, there's like the sword and kind of like the band that is not here compared to Infinity War, but also the magical sync is here, and also this huge effects, which is a lot bigger than I thought they would be. The figure itself is I would say No Way Home. I mean Infinity War. And then you got this box that I wanted to have. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get the battle damage upgraded suit, because it does have this box as well. You got the spells that are, again, we've seen before in Infinity War, and I believe in the first Doctor Strange as well. And this is the figure. This IKEA mystical sync that it does have, again, kind of played into factor of me selling my Infinity War and grabbing this one up. Does that mean I'm not gonna get Multiverse of Madness down the line? Maybe, if the hype, at least for me, for No Way Home dies down. Maybe. I didn't like the patchwork on the cape for that figure, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking for a way for a reason to pick this up instead. But accessories, if you've had any Doctor Strange in the past, he has a good array of gesture hands that you can always use, and they're pretty they are nicely detailed. As you can see, there's the stitches, or whatever you call them, on his hands when he got operated, and he got a bunch of these kind of like spell hands that you wanted to see if they focus on. But yeah, they're highly detailed. The color is good. This is somewhat new. I'm pretty sure when you see the movie, you see him kind of have this spoon, and it just attaches to this hand right like that. It just kind of vacuums in, so that's pretty cool as well. And then you got, of course, the spell hands, more of them. You see here the finger is bent in that certain way. You got a gripping hand here. He doesn't have the sword anymore, but he does have that kind of magical lasso, or whatever you want to call them, that you can insert here. Or if you want to use the sword, if you purchase that separately from the Infinity War, this is not going to focus at all. It's too small. This sling ring, and then you got some magical effects that you could insert in his forearm. So I'll showcase that later. And then the familiar spells that you do have. So what you do is, it does have those slots that you insert the open palm hands with the thumb and every finger, basically, for him to be able to hold this. They're pretty cool, especially when they're displayed. They're transparent. The light bounces off to them. It has this gradient effect paint application to it. And now you get the square spell. I'm just gonna call it the square spell that he was holding. Ironically, this is on Infinity War as well. He was holding this in his palm when he was casting this spell for Peter. when he was doing the spell. And then you got the Eye of Agamotto here, which is it's in its closed state. As you know, he doesn't have the Infinity Stone at this point. I don't even know if he was wearing this, but I still like the idea that it's here. Because again, I sold my Infinity War version, so he could stand in for my Infinity War display if ever need be. And this box right here is beautifully painted. You got this metallic sort of green with some black wash on it. It's really beautifully done. It's nice. It's kind of it's made out of plastic, but it has some nice weight to it. And then the base, which is I'm gonna touch on that on a different one. We're gonna look into the magical IKEA sink for now. It does have that clear pole that it's kind of mimic that it's levitating, it's floating in the air. Nicely painted. It looks like a what do you call it? A cement, and then the inside has that metallic sheen to it. The plastic, because it does take batteries, which is it's included but not on mine. So you open it up, it does have the on and off switch, and then it's not USB powered yet. You know what, this would have been a nice USB if the clear pole has those wires inside and you kind of just insert that in. But this is an older figure that was announced, so and does have that magical globe, and it does light up, and not on this because I don't have any batteries yet, but on on the thumbnail, just look it up. It's not that bright, but it's decent. Now you see this. This is the base that it comes with, and this is kind of like the lasso. If you remember when he was fighting Peter in this mirror, scene, he lassoed his foot and kind of dragged him. But this is pretty cool. I like this effects, even though it's kind of scene specific for No Way Home, but that's what I was going for. But spell wise, with anything that includes Doctor Strange, this would work. And the transparent looks kind of cheap, but works. The tailoring for this guy is pretty good. Again, this is the same figure as Infinity War, so leave it as it may, but I was impressed on that anyway. Although I would say this, if you're in a market for a Doctor Strange now, the best one, at least in my opinion, is the Multiverse of Madness. Not a better movie than No Way Home, not even close. However, the look that he does have, the outfit, the head sculpt, the extra head sculpt as well, it looks pretty good. That would be, I would say, I don't know if the definitive Strange, but the best Doctor Strange for now. I'm not a big fan of the cape where it does have the stitching on it. Yes, it is accurate to the film, but to what my display is going for, because my display is surrounded around, revolving around No Way Home and Infinity War, not a big fan. Now here, you got, it's not a split cut boot. Again, they probably recycled this from the old Doctor Strange, which is fine, but we're in 2023 going to 2024 now. At the time of this video, it is what it is. There's a lot of tassels and a lot of kind of mystical effect. Of course, Doctor Strange, I like the stitch work as always. In terms of the overall look, the tailoring, can't say enough good things about this guy. You can pretty much, and it's loose enough that on the next segment, which is the articulation, you can move him around and all that stuff. The belt is a it's not pleather, it's like rubbery type with some tassels on it, and you can see his forearms has those kind of I don't know what you call them, magical design to it. Now the head sculpt. This is when he was fighting Peter and Peter kind of subdued him. It's okay. This head sculpt, I always prefer the first Doctor Strange. It feels like he got Botox here, and again, this is pretty much the same figure as Infinity War. Too bad I already sold it. Otherwise, I would have done a comparison, but it doesn't make sense for me to wait for that because I didn't want to take that chance. I wasn't going to buy him up until I sold my Infinity War. So that wasn't even on the table to begin with. His hair is nicely done. It's combed over on the back. It's close. But as of now, I think the Multiverse of Madness has the best likeness, in my opinion. This would work for me still. This is Doctor Strange, a character that is pretty vital to the Avengers in my display, but not necessarily something that I need the best version right now. I think when that Multiverse of Madness eventually goes on sale, I might pick that up as well, but as of now, it's still full price and not gonna do that. Articulation wise, one piece neck and head sculpt, so limited range of movement there. Again, the outfit is loose enough, and this is a separate piece, so there's a lot of movement that you could do with his arms. The elbows, look at that, that's tightly bent in there, so because of the sash, it's gonna be hard for you to maneuver his waist. As far as the pants, they're a little loose on the crotch area. They're kind of baggy, so you do have, you gotta adjust it here and there to be able to get an up kick, but the knees bend pretty far, and you could do, like I said, you could do those kind of poses where it's levitating in the air. That is possible. Bicep swivel, again, some ab crunch a little bit. You can pull him back a little bit. I don't think you need to per se. He's not Spider-Man, but pretty good articulation anyway. So let's put him in some poses here. This is him casting the spell. As you can see here, mystical things flying in the air. I love this look. He's levitating. Oh, look at that! The green screen kind of took away the pole here, but you can see it's nicely done. The pose. If this is what you're going for, which is I am, he's casting the spell here. Really nice. I love it. I love this look. This is one of the reasons I bought this, and now he is here. I think when this is towards the end of the movie, so you don't need to show the bottom part, because the magical effects is so long and so high that you could use it in variety of ways, right? Like if you don't want to show that he's standing, like he looks like he's just levitating and there's mystical effects flying all over the place, you could do that as well. So I like the practicality of it compared to the Infinity War, where there's some huge effects that are so specific. This one you could kind of maneuver it. And this is him, and again, when he was fighting Peter on top of the train, him holding that box, they were fighting to get that. This is just a simple up and down pose, but if you want to display him in a more dynamic pose, this would be the figure, because he's not going to get damaged. Nothing's rubber here. No, everything's fabric, so you could leave him in a dynamic pose for a long period of time. And I gotta do this pose. You see him on the back as well, where he hit Spider-Man Peter, with that kind of punch that left his soul, on the background there. Pretty cool scene. Yeah, this is the combo that I'm going for now. I'm only a few figures away from completing the No Way Home. Of course, we're still waiting for the Tobey Maguire figure that everyone's waiting for, that, and the Sandman base that I'm hoping for. But there you go. My final thoughts on this figure. It is the same as Infinity War. If you had that, and you're not a completionist like me, you don't care about completing the No Way Home line, then you can stick with that. If this magical effects and the floating sync, which is again very scene specific, if you don't care about that, stick with your Infinity War if you have one. If you don't have one yet and you want the best Doctor Strange, get the Multiverse of Madness. Now, if you want to save a little bit of money, because this is still available, and it just came off being 25% off at a sideshow, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna see more of those sales because Multiverse of Madness is shipping now. So this would be the odd man out. If you want to save money, go with this guy. You're not gonna regret it. Is he an inferior figure than the Multiverse of Madness? Yes, but it's not like he's a terrible figure. Still a good looking figure. Again, if you want to save money and at the same time satisfy your Infinity War / No Way Home line, this would be the guy. Still pretty solid. Great accessories. Right now, as we currently stand, great pricing as well. The head sculpt is, a little bit of a suspect, but we've seen that in Infinity War. I didn't really complain. You still know it's him. It's not as good, but you got some gimmicks in here that I do like the sync, the light up LED for that, the box. So a lot of good things in here still, even though it's an older figure. But thank you for watching. Hopefully you like this video. Give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next one.